Ladies and gentlemen, señoras y señores, it's my pleasure to introduce the Executive Director, el Director Ejecutivo of the Union City Housing Authority, la Autoridad de Vivienda de Union City, el señor Virgilio Cabello.
Thank you. Good morning. Buenos días. I'm really glad to see so many happy, smiling faces, and I could see the reason why. Me alegran ver tantas caras sonrientes y tenemos razón en el día de hoy para estar contentos. En nombre de los comisionados de la Autoridad de Vivienda, quiero darle la buena bienvenida a todos ustedes aquí al pabellón al Campus of Learners. On the name of the Housing Commissioners, I would like to welcome each and one of you to the Housing Pavilion Campus of Learners. I will ask you right now to rise for the flag salute, which will be led by the Housing Boys basketball team. I pledge allegiance. Thank you, be seated. Oh, by the way, our team right now during the season is a winning team. It's 6-1, so congratulations, boys. We have a number of elected public officials with us today. Also, many members of different organizations that are participating in this wonderful event. So thank you for joining us this morning. I also would like to provide a special welcome and a warm welcome to our speakers this morning. The first individual is the Honorable Secretary of Education, Mr. Arnie Duncan. Thank you, sir, Mr. Duncan. The next man is responsible for bringing the New Jersey Devils, let's go Devils, to Newark, the new United States Senator, Mr. Cory Booker. And our neighbor and friend who's very comfortable in any basketball court, Congressman Albio Series. And least, but not last, Union City favorite son, Senator Robert Menendez. I also would like to acknowledge the presence of the Regional Director of the Health and Human Services Department, who's representing today Secretary Kathleen Sebelius, Dr. Jaime Torres. As an entity of HUD, the Housing Authority is pleased to collaborate with our federal partners, the White House, the Department of Education, and the Department of Human Services, by making this facility available for this important summit to help the uninsured in this community and throughout New Jersey obtain health insurance through the Affordable Care Act. I also would like to thank the members of the Housing Authority Board who have made this possible and make my job easier by supporting all of affairs. They are Chairman Martin Martinetti, Vice Chairperson Margarita Gutierrez, Commissioners Teresa Cornelio, Delsa de Martinez, Edwin Martinez, Dorothy Gera, and Dennis Gonzalez, who also happens to be the Executive Officer of the Department of Health and Human Services, who coordinated this entire event. Dennis, thank you so much. And I would like to wrap up my portion here by saying that it is my belief that for a society to define itself as a successful, it must have two components. First, a quality education that is second to none. That is why it's so our honor to have a Secretary Duncan here today. And second, a quality of health care that is affordable to all. It is a right, not a privilege, for every human being to enjoy good health. With that in mind, Mr. Secretary, please let the President and the White House know how honored the Union City Housing Authority is to cooperate in this historic event. Thank you. And now please help me welcome our first speaker, who I understand has challenged the Secretary to a game of hoops on a one-to-one, our Congressman Albio Series. Albio?
Well, good morning, everybody. Muy buenos días. Congratulations, 6-1. I don't remember being 6-1 when I played. Virgilio, thank you very much. Secretary, thank you for coming to Union City. Senator Booker, thank you for being here. And of course, our senator, who has made us so proud, right here from Union City, from the public school, a product of the public schools of Union City, Senator Bob Menendez. Déjeme primero que nada reconocer al grupo este de basquetbolistas. El récord de ellos es 6-1. Yo creo que merecen un aplauso. Quiero dar las gracias a Virgilio, a la ciudad de Union City. Quiero dar las gracias al senador Booker y, claro, a nuestro secretario de Educación, Arnie Duncan, y nuestro Bob Menéndez, que es producto de Union City. Todos estamos aquí unidos en este esfuerzo. Y quiero, claro, dar las gracias a mi amigo Virgilio. Virgilio y yo fuimos a la escuela juntos. Nos conocemos. Él me conocía cuando era un poquito más delgado. Well, look, today we're here for a very important event. You know, we are here to urge all those people who are eligible to get health insurance. This is a nationwide effort to make sure that everyone who can become someone with a health insurance. I will keep my remarks regarding the 8th Congressional District. The 8th Congressional District is 53% Hispanic. We have the largest amount of uninsured in the state. There are approximately about 190,000 people that are eligible to have health insurance. And I know that the senators will speak not only on behalf of New Jersey, but nationwide. But I want to make sure that all those 190,000 people in my district are registered to get health insurance. The president has made it his priority. The president has taken his lumps, making this his priority. You know, when you think that in the district that we represent, we're 53% Hispanic, 38,000 children can no longer be denied health insurance. They are now eligible to have coverage. When you think that 90,000 seniors have received one or more preventive appointments to check their health. When you think that 151,000 people in the district are paying less for preventive insurance. And when you think that if you're between the ages of 19, 25, now you can remain on this policy that you will be getting. So all those things are the positive things that is the reason why we're here today. To make sure that you talk to your neighbors, make sure you talk to your friends, that they are eligible. God knows how expensive it is when you get sick. And we are offering this population an opportunity to get health care. I'm going to excuse myself and say a few words in Spanish because there are other speakers and I don't want to hog the microphone. Primero que nada, déjenme decirle que yo voy a hablar más bien sobre el distrito, porque yo sé que los senadores y el secretario de Educación va a hablar sobre no solamente New Jersey, sino toda la nación. El distrito que yo represento, que son ustedes, en el distrito este, que es 53% hispano, hay más de 190,000 personas que son elegibles para recibir seguro de salud. Imagínense, casi 190,000. El problema que tenemos es que nosotros esperamos a última hora. Se lo digo por experiencia de mi padre. que esperaban a última hora para todo. Y eso es una cosa que nosotros tenemos que cambiar. Pero es sumamente importante que antes del día 31 nosotros hablemos con nuestros vecinos, nosotros hablemos con nuestros amigos para que se inscriban y reciban seguro de salud. Los beneficios son inmensos. Ya hoy en día, si usted tiene una condición previa, no le pueden negar una póliza de seguro. Si usted tiene un hijo de 19 a 25 años, usted lo puede poner en la póliza, que antes no se podía hacer. Y hay más de 38,000 niños en el distrito que yo represento que no se le puede negar seguro de salud. Y para nuestros clásicos, porque a mí no me gusta decir ancianos, yo siempre he dicho clásicos, como el senador Menéndez que siempre ha dicho clásicos, sí, el programa de prescripción, cuando llega a cierta cantidad, no tienen que pagar. Todo eso, más el seguro de salud, le da la oportunidad a nuestros clásicos a que vayan al médico y no le cueste nada. Lo que le pido yo es, y lo que vamos a pedir nosotros, el senador y el secretario, es que por favor, si no se ha inscrito, si no ha averiguado cómo inscribirse, aquí tenemos muchas personas para que lo ayuden hoy a ustedes. Si conocen a un vecino que no tiene seguro de salud, o si conocen a un vecino que tiene una condición previa y cree que no puede calificar para seguro de salud, díganle que venga, que sí, ahora con estos cambios que ha hecho el presidente Obama, se puede inscribir para recibir seguro de salud. And I will end it there because I know other people are going to speak. But for me, it's an honor to have the opportunity to introduce the younger of the two senators that represents New Jersey. Cory Booker has been mayor of Newark, has turned that city around. He has brought that energy. He has brought that know-how to work together with Senator Menendez in Washington to represent New Jersey. We could not have a better representative in Washington than our own Senator, Cory Booker. So, Cory, will you please come up here?
Good morning. Lo siento. Good morning. Look, where in America right now do you have a congressman, 2 senators, a member of President Obama's cabinet, the Secretary of Education, all together for a day like this? Este es un día tan especial y tan importante, porque es parte de mi fe que el Dios quiere que nosotros tenemos vida y vida con abundancia, ¿sí? Yes? Now, you cannot have life and have it more abundantly as God wants. Sin cobertura salud. Because if you don't have cobertura de salud, if you don't have health care coverage, if you get sick, you don't have an easy access to medical coverage, to preventative care. If your child is sick, or your nephew, or your brother, su hermana, if su familia no tienen cobertura de salud, it is very difficult to maintain the level of health that I know God wants for all of us. So I just want to say gracias por venido hoy. Es tan importante. Quiero dar gracias a todo. Porque it's obvious that you all care about this subject. And there is an urgency now. Necesitamos tener ánimo y energía, porque es tan importante immediatamente, que nosotros decir, we tell our families that we have to get coverage. And to continue this information important, para continuar la información tan importante, quiero traer aquí, I want to bring up a person that in Washington is a giant, un gigante. He is a giant in Washington. He is a little shorter than me. But I look up to this man more and more. I look up to this man more and more every day. I am telling you right now, all of us love Senator Menendez, but I am now the most qualified person to tell you how great our senator is. Because I watch him every single day in Washington, and I am learning from him, and I am impressed with how well he takes care of our state. Never before have I loved Senator Menendez as much as I have now that I am his junior senator. And so I want to tell you right now, I'm proud to bring up a local homegrown product, a mentor of mine, una persona gigante in Washington, my friend Senator Menendez.
Él está diciendo gigante de estatura, no de así, ¿eh? Thank you, Senator Booker, for that gracious introduction. And we have a dynamic duo in Washington. He has shown himself to be already making his mark in the United States Senate, and that's why we need to send him back to the United States Senate this November. Senator Booker, thank you very much. I'm thrilled to be here with Congressman Series. What he didn't learn is that I get the last word. Sé que el congresista Series dijo que yo soy el más viejo de los dos senadores, pero lo que no ha aprendido es que yo tengo la última palabra. Y entre él y yo, el que es más viejo entre él y yo es él. No voy a decir por cuánto, pero bueno. On a serious note, I'm always happy to be what I consider home in Union City, and particularly today at the Affordable Care Act Latino Enrollment Summit to talk about the importance of the Affordable Care Act to Latino families and what we can do to help them get the care they need. Of course, Virgilio Cabello, the Housing Authority Director, does such a great job, has been doing it for years. I appreciate him hosting us today. And I think, as Senator Booker said, the magnitude of the importance of this day and this issue to have the United States Secretary of Education here, Arne Duncan, is incredibly important, and we welcome him to New Jersey. Ahora, si me pueden... Unos minutos solamente. Voy a hablar en inglés y en español y entonces vamos a traerle al secretario. There are nearly 300,000 uninsured Latinos in New Jersey eligible for the health insurance marketplace. That's about 31% of all eligible New Jersey residents. Nationwide, 1 in 4 people eligible for coverage under the new law are Latino. That's over 10 million people nationwide. One of the reasons, as a member of the Senate Finance Committee, that I was such a big advocate for the Affordable Care Act is that in the greatest country on the face of the earth, no American should ever have to go to sleep worried that they have no health care coverage and are one illness away from bankruptcy. But when I saw the disproportionate numbers of Latinos who have no health care insurance in the country, it was even a greater reason. And so we are here to say that every Latino family in New Jersey should ultimately take the advantage, the opportunity that the law provides. And to a community that suffers disproportionately on diabetes, on certain cancers, on the consequences on heart ailments, we need to have the coverage to protect ourselves, our families, and our children. And so that's what today is all about. So I know for those who may be watching later through the media or the press, if they feel more comfortable in applying in Spanish, they can do so through cuidadodesalud.gov, que es una forma de hacerlo por medio del internet. Y esa es la realidad para tantos de nuestras familias. Quiero simplemente decir que los 300,000 latinos en el estado de New Jersey que tienen el derecho de ser elegible para este seguro de salud, fuera un error enorme de no tomar el aventaje de inscribirse para un seguro que es costeable, donde la gran mayoría de muchas de nuestras familias basadas en ingresos van a tener un subsidio que le va a ser el seguro costeable y que puede garantizar a nuestras familias la habilidad de ir a dormir por la noche sin la inquietud que no tengo un seguro de salud y si me enfermo no sé cómo voy a pagar esta enfermedad, no sé cómo voy a actualmente cuidar a mi niño. Podemos eliminar esa inquietud este día inscribiéndonos en este programa de salud. Nosotros como comunidad tenemos un % desproporcionado de algunas enfermedades, como la diabetes, ciertos cánceres, problemas de corazón, en fin. Tenemos que tener un seguro de salud que no solamente nos cuida en el momento que tenemos alguna enfermedad, pero que nos da todos los programas preventivos para no enfermarnos y para cuidar nuestros niños. Quiero mandar un mensaje bien claro. No importa si estás documentado o indocumentado para este programa, porque cuando yo fui parte de escribir la ley, quería asegurar que no importaba si eres residente permanente, ciudadano americano o indocumentado. Este programa es elegible para todos nuestros hermanos y la información que se usa para inscribirse no puede ser usado para cualquier propósito de inmigración. $8.2 millones de latinos en todo el país tienen un servicio ampliado de salud preventivo para beneficiar, por ejemplo, a las mujeres, a los niños y las personas de mayor edad. Tenemos una oportunidad única en lo que nos queda de este mes de no solamente los que están aquí, que se están revisando para inscribirse, pero hablar con nuestras familias, hablar con nuestros vecinos, hablar con quien oramos, hablar con quien actualmente trabajamos y decirle, ¿te ha inscribido? Y si no te ha inscribido, toma esta oportunidad que creamos para tener esa seguridad en nuestras vidas de salud que todos queremos tener. Esa es la posibilidad que tenemos adentro de nuestra mano y lo único que tenemos que hacer es registrar. With that, let me introduce the Secretary of Education. Déjame presentarle el Secretario de Educación, Arnie Duncan. I have known him, I have come to know him to become one of the most effective spokespersons for the administration, no matter what the subject is. He is the Secretary of Education, which to us as a community is one of the core values that we have. Él es el Secretario Nacional de Educación, que para nosotros es uno de los valores más importantes que tenemos para nuestras familias, porque yo sé, como alguien que creció en esta ciudad pobre, sin la educación que yo recibí, no pudiera ser uno de 100 senadores federales en un país de 308 millones de personas. Y él es encargado de la educación nacional del país. He's making education an American priority, and I know he'll give us an education about why we should be signing up for the Affordable Care Act. The Secretary of Education, already done.
Good morning, and I'm thrilled to be here. I'm going to be very brief. I want to thank the congressmen, the senators, all of you for coming out. I just want to take a moment and thank Senator Menendez. He walked me through a little bit of the history of this school district. This is a school district that historically struggled, had some huge challenges. It is now absolutely a national model. What's going on for children here is incredible. And as a young high school student, as a college student, he stepped up and provided extraordinary leadership to challenge the status quo, to do some things very, very differently because it's the right thing for children. The proof of the pudding 3-4 decades later is pretty extraordinary. Please give him another round of applause for all of his hard work. Folks may wonder why someone who thinks about reading and math every day is so interested in healthcare. The answer is very, very simple. That there's a series of what I call foundational, fundamental things that have to be in place for our children to be able to do math, to be able to do algebra trig and calculus and biology. Their health has to be in place. Their families' healthcare needs have to be met. If our children are hungry, if our children can't see the blackboard, if they have asthma, if they have dental needs that aren't being met, if their parents are not well and not getting the care they need, it makes concentrating in class very, very difficult. And I'm thrilled this team right here is 6-1. I love basketball, but I'm much more interested in what they're doing in the classroom. And are they in school every single day? Do they have perfect attendance? Are they getting good grades? Are they thinking about not just high school graduation, but college? To do that, they and their family members have to be safe, they have to be fed, and their healthcare needs have to be met. As we look across the country, Latino sign-ups for the new healthcare systems have been relatively low. And so we challenge all of you. We thank you so much for coming out on a Saturday morning. We ask you to talk to your family members, to talk to your friends here and across the country to get the word out. These next 2 weeks are very, very critical. And we've had about 4 million people sign up, but we don't want anyone to walk out of March and not have the coverage they need. And if we can do this, the sense of security that families will have is huge. And obviously none of us ever want something bad to happen to us or to one of our loved ones. But the truth is, sadly, unfortunately, bad things do happen. And if we're not prepared, if we're not protected, they can be pretty catastrophic. So I thank you for helping to get the word out. I think this community is doing so much right educationally. It's absolutely a model. If you could help us, again, spread the word across the country, the difference it will make in the safety and security of our young people and their families is extraordinary. So I want to thank all of the leaders for coming out on a Saturday morning. I want to thank all of you for coming out. You guys can help to lead the country where we need to go. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Before we conclude this event, we'd like to ask the secretary to please join us. The basketball team has a little memento for you as you members of Union City. Come on.
You guys sign it? Oh, big time.
There you go, from one player to the other.
Thank you so much.
And we'll just give you some information that Assemblyman Jimenez is joining us here. Thank you, Assemblyman.